Well, hello everyone. It's Selection Sunday. They will be announcing the teams that are playing in the men's college basketball algorithm, the Big Dance, the March Madness 64 or 68 team bracket, really, because there are some playing games. They'll be announcing that in about an hour and a half or 2 hours. And I'm sitting around here waiting for that to occur to prepare the brackets for everybody. There will be another video later tonight once the announcements have been made, and I'll go through a very extensive video on how the brackets work. But before that, I figured it'd be a good idea to look at the college basketball algorithm, which is a great tool for predicting college basketball games. And we're going to look and see who should be in this tournament according to the algorithm and who is potentially going to get gypped and not get an award or a bid into the big dance this year when they probably deserve it. So let's talk about how we're going to look through this standing sheet to figure that out. There's a ranking number. I don't know if it's the AP poll or some universal ranking system that ranks teams. It has Houston as number one. We have our own power ranking that is based on these variables over here, which is going to probably be better than the ranking system that you see here that pops up. So the top 68 teams potentially could get awarded a bid to the tournament. It doesn't exactly work out that way because certain teams in certain conferences, I believe, get automatic bids, and it's not going to be exactly these 68 teams, all the way down to Morehead State. But this is the way the ranking system has them. Now, that's just obvious. That's the ranking system. So if they just took them 1 through 68, those are the teams that they would award bids to. I would rather sort this by power percentage because this is what the algorithm says should be the top 68 teams. As I do this descending, we're going to identify some teams that should be in the tournament that might not get in, or teams that are going to get in but shouldn't get in. And I'll show you how we'll do that. So when we look at the top 68 teams in this list, it stops right about here at Washington. Okay. Now, what's interesting to look at in here, by the way, if you want to buy a copy of this college basketball algorithm, it's $50. It's going to help you throughout the tournament to predict scores of games and everything. You can follow the link in the description and purchase the copy for $50. This is totally separate from any of the brackets and running a tournament. This is just for predicting and wagering. For those who have been following my struggle with gambling addiction, I've been pretty good. I've had some lapses still, but I'm not betting, and I'm staying away from that part of this. It's not good for my life, but it could be good for your life. So I'll still do the videos here about it. And so what you see here is it's these 68 teams. Now notice that you start to see some numbers here that are much higher than 68 next to this ranking. So we would have, Washington playing Memphis or something in a play-in game, but Memphis is ranked 99th and Washington is 76th. Southern Methodist would be in here at 61. UNLV, they're ranked 78th. We would have them in the tournament. App State, they're ranked 77th. We would have them in the tournament. Oregon, 73rd. We would have them in Princeton, 86th. We have them all the way up here, basically ranked as the 52nd best team, right? And if Oregon gets gypped, they really deserve to be in this tournament according to the algorithm. So, so does Princeton. So does Samford, apparently. What other numbers? James Madison, absolutely. Are sort of a local team to where I live. They've had a great season. They've had some big upsets, beat some teams that are ranked a lot higher than they would be ranked. They should be in the tournament. Any other teams above ranking number 64 here? Utah State, way up here. If Utah State doesn't get awarded a bid, they have a right to complain in Provo or Salt Lake City or wherever they are. There's only a couple cities in Utah. So yeah, this is just a way of looking at this, and your school, that's right, your school has a right to complain if you're up on this list and you don't make it. One thing that's consistent with the rankings as well as with the algorithm, we have Houston on top. We have Purdue, a very close second. We have UConn, a very close third. You can see that this is actually still in the correct order as the ranking poll is. We have Arizona a lot higher up here, though. They're ranked 20th. We have them as the fourth best team. Then there's Auburn and Iowa State, pretty close as well. We have North Carolina higher than the AP ranking is. Tennessee, Alabama. Notice we have Gonzaga up here. They're only ranked 25th, but we do have them up here. Apparently, they will put up some points when they need to. Brigham Young, BYU, we have them a lot lower. So this is one of those where the poll has them at 6th, and we have them all the way down here at 13th. And then, these interesting things like New Mexico is ranked 45th, and we have them way up here on this list. That Utah State team, San Diego State, Colorado, Nevada. These are all teams that we have, the algorithm has ranked a lot higher. Colorado State have these teams, Boise State, a lot higher than the odds. I shouldn't say the odds makers, but the polls have them at. And James Madison up here. Now, who are teams that might get in that we don't think should get in? That's where you're going to see that is you're going to see a low number down here, but yeah, 71. So it cuts off right around here, right at was it Washington? Let's see here, 64, and then looks like right there at Washington. So these teams below Washington that end up getting in, like UCF, Central Florida, if they get in, we don't think they deserve it. Virginia gets in, we don't think they deserve it. Kansas State, if they get in, we don't think they deserve it. Any other low numbers up here? Minnesota, they get in, we don't think they deserve it. UVM, my alma mater, they're not supposed to get in. If they do get in, good for them. I'll still root for them. Any other low numbers showing up here? That's probably about it. Miami, Florida. We don't think they should get in, and neither does the AP poll either. Liberty, we don't think they should get in. And then the rest of these teams have pretty high rankings. So it's just a video I wanted to do to prepare to get an idea of where the algorithm and the polls are consistent with each other, and of course where we have some teams which we think are undervalued teams or have a poll rating that is much higher than it, much lower than it should be, meaning that we think they're a much better team, like that Utah State. I mean, that's a big one. And we think Arizona is a really good team. Duke at 11. That New Mexico, Utah State, Nevada, Colorado State. Those are teams that McNeese at 44. I'm in there pretty good. So we're taking into account everything we can take into account. The next video will be the selection video with all the brackets coming out probably about 7:30, 8 o'clock. It'd take me a couple hours to get everything set up and test it to make sure all the teams are working properly. But if you want to get a head start on the algorithm does some great things. Like it's very easy to update at this point in the season. The odds are going to come out on these games after the teams are listed. And, if say this game is happening on the 21st or something like that, as soon as the odds come in, you just paste the odds, paste the injury report, and you're going to be able to refresh the results pivot, and you're going to get the projection for the game. So in a game between Houston and Purdue, we would have Houston winning. This game is like a 78-78 game where Houston barely wins, right? That's the kind of projections that you're going to get out of this file, as it's going to give you really everything that you need to project these games. So enjoy your March Madness tournament. Get ready for a video coming out later tonight with all the brackets and everything about that. But when it comes to teams that should be in, we did isolate some games where, or some teams that we think really should be in that might get shafted, and some teams that are probably going to get in that don't deserve to get in. So we'll see how that ends up working out. All right. Good luck, everyone. May all your picks be winning. And if you want to purchase a copy of this, just follow the link in the description. Go to kenbraverman.com. It's $50 and it's probably going to be worth it. It does a pretty good job. All right. Good luck.